All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Abu Dad. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors out to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, those who taught us the truth and rule well, along with the 144,000, which is the governing body of the kingdom to come, starting with 12,000 from each tribe that are studying profusely across the four corners of the globe, that our house may be blessed with election, as well as the innumerable one-third that's scattered across. Shalom unto you. All right. And we are the Dallas camp, right, coming at you, right, with another lesson through the spirit and prophecy and the things that are going on here in the earth. All right. I am the brother Yazarala. We got the brother Malak, the brother Rock. We have another brother. I think he just dropped out, but he may come back in, Benaiah Bond. Right. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, like I said, we are prophesying the end game here in Babylon the Great. Right. Through the name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, right, which is the ancient Paleo Hebrew name of the Heavenly Father. All right. And through the spirit we believe. Zephaniah 3:9 says, I'll return unto them a pure language that they will call upon my name. All right. So because we know the Heavenly Father and his son carries a particular vibration in the earth that's not conducive to the heathens, right? Malachi 1 and 1 and 14 says, my name is dreadful among the heathens. All right. So now we're in that time of the revelation of the revealing of everything. Okay. Who is Esau, Edom? All right. Who is the nations? Who's Jacob? Who is the nation of Israel? What and where is Mystery Babylon? Who is the beast? What is the seven-headed dragon and the 10 horns? What is the image of the beast? And what is the MOTB, which is pretty much the final prophecy that we're waiting on it. And it's already speaking right now in this latter end time. Right. So the wicked and their works can no longer be hid. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into this lesson. Hey, Shalom, brother. Benaiah Bond joined us here again. We've been having some issues. Satan's been nonstop relentless, messing with our live here, trying to get set up. But I brought this out through the spirit. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this thing kicked off. All right. I believe we can pull up that the bricks. And I think I'm gonna start off here with got a precept I want to start with. And this is Jeremiah 50 and 23. This is how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. And that's exactly where we're at right now. Okay. America being that hammer of the whole earth, man, that's been having the nations in subjection for so long. All right. Passing nothing but wicked decrees, legislation, laws, philosophies, religion. All right. Ideologies all throughout the earth, man, and leading it in wickedness. Okay. And there are a plethora of scriptures that touch on that. I brought this out. We'll be able to go into that. But right now we see that Babylon is broken. Okay. It's being broken down, and all that's happening through the strength and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay. And it's becoming a desolation, and all the nations are seeing it. Okay. They're seeing this place is that we're at our latter end. Every great kingdom has a point of rulership and a point of rise and a point of decline. Right. And we're in that decadent, which is the last stage of an empire's decline. Here in America, aka Babylon. All right. So if any of you brothers have any precepts you want to bring out, we can go ahead and jump into it. And be mindful too. I think your mic's on mute.
Yeah, I have something real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and share this. Let's see. This Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 5, it says, for I'm gonna start. Well, I'm gonna start at 5. It say, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And I pulled that because you have brought up that the elect is brought back into the knowledge and studying profusely, right? Getting into the scriptures, right? And as that's happening, you have various signs taking place of this devil falling out of power, and us rising up into our power, right? By coming to the coming closer to Yahweh and calling upon his name, right? Which is a plain beginning. But is a is a major sign of the end, you know.
Wow, beautiful. That's right, brother. And as we said, as the scripture says, the visions are set for a point of time, and at the end they shall speak and not lie. Those visions are those prophecies, all right? So once again, we're at the latter end of this rulership, all right? We saw Edom's kingdom is being taken down, first through the mouth of the Lord, right, which was prophets, right? Because when we speak things via the scriptures, things happen within the earth, man, within the world, man, all right? These things are power. Okay, so call Holo Yahaba Shemi Al Shah, man, that this nightmare is almost over with. So we want to go ahead, we're just going to touch on a couple of things here as we can see, and it's been kind of a hot topic with the BRICS nations, right, and what's been happening, what's been going on, with this whole Confederate, all right, because, a lot of people say, that, the BRICS was, pretty much kind of formed to combat NATO. And yeah and no, yeah, in a sense, but the BRICS nations aren't doing any military exercises right now. Okay, really more what they're doing is that it's being more of a nightmare to America as far as finances are concerned. Okay, because we know that here in America, the USD isn't backed by anything. Okay, well, chiefly it's really backed by the American people. Our hourly wages, we go to work, the taxes that we pay, so forth and so on. All right, so we are pretty much the engine that runs this place. But outside of that, when you look at the BRICS nations, and this whole unification that's going on here, what do they have? They have gold, silver, they have minerals, right, in the earth, right? They have plethora of resources. Okay, and I know there's been an image there. There was a as a matter of fact, make sure here on my phone if I get the screen. BRICS nation just actually showed an image of what their money looks like. And let me see if I can get it here. Yeah, get it here for you. You can see it here. Let me put it right there. That is the new BRICS money right there. All right. Now, there are a plethora of articles on that because this money that you see here in my screen is being backed by gold, silver, precious metals, minerals, and so forth and so on. Okay. And it's 50 times more than what the USD is worth. Okay, so we know inevitably it's going to take some sort of a catastrophic event, really, to pull the nations off of, to loosen the shackles of the USD. But again, this is all a step towards that. Okay, so as we get into this article a little bit, we're just going to touch on it. We're going to outline it. Like I said, there's a lot of brothers that are going into this. Chiefly a lot of the elder apostles, our elders here in Dallas, have touched on it. We have particular brothers that just have a gift when it comes to different sectors of, we all were afforded different gifts that, that can really go into depth in a lot of stuff. So we're just going to touch on some things, pull some precepts in this. We're just going to kind of keep it moving, but, as we all stay on one accord. But if you want to go ahead and Baba Kashan, we can bring up the article and just kind of touch on it a little bit more. And like I said, if you brothers got any precepts too, please bring them out or anything you want to add. Okay, I think that was this is the Draconian one. You want to pull the other one?
Yep. Oh, you wanted. Which one did you want?
The BRICS nation ones.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. Because all this you have to understand.
This one.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. BRICS will break the dollar and usher a return to gold. All right. And there's a lot of can you zoom in up on that a little bit, brother?
Yep. I got some before we
okay, yeah, come on.
Go into it real heavy, real quick.
Okay, I can bring it up here on my other screen too. Here. So
is that bit better or a little more?
No, that's good. That's good because you I guess you can read it and then we can just kind of go through it a little bit.
Okay.
But you're gonna bring out?
Yeah. This Revelation chapter 18, verse 11. And just pretext I'll say better yet, the context of this chapter is going into the destruction of America and the reaction thereof, from all the other nations. And it shows you the strength of the American um, you know, influence, as well as the dollar, because we know that the dollar of America is they're pumping it, you know, to change this system, and BRICS is in league with that as well. They're both two horns on the same dragon, pretty
Yep.
much, but just
Yep.
infighting. So I'm just saying that as a pretext to this America, right, is the main the main power. And this goes into that verse 11, right? I'm gonna read that. It says, Revelation 18 and 11, it says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore,
Mm.
right? The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all thine vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble, right? So that's a lot of substance, a lot of actual wealth. That's how you weigh out actual wealth. And America actually has plenty of wealth, right? With their currency being the petrodollar, which is damn near invincible to break. But the Lord is strategically that having that infight and happen, and thinking that with this a lot of this information going coming out, it's causing that they're coming, a change is coming ultimately. They're about to switch up the system to to something else, right?
Mhm.
But it says, last verse, it says, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Like he was going into like how America, a lot of their wealth has come from the people,
Mhm.
specifically slavery. But even today, you also have the slave industrial complex, which some call a prison industrial complex, which is just slave labor, or minimum wage is pretty much slave labor, you know.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, you got it.
Can I get a precept real quick?
Mhm.
This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 7. It says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And I just wanted to touch on the point that you just made, for any Akim that may tune in, like we were talking about before the live stream. A good video to watch is the Elder Ariala's most recent video on BRICS. It's on Remnant Say 144BA. But essentially, he breaks down basically what Malak just mentioned. BRICS is essentially controlled opposition, as far as the East and West is concerned, and they're using the same systems, they're using the same tactics as far as finances that the West is using, right? They're even wearing suits, they're still wearing suits and ties, which basically lets you know that Esau Edom is still the one behind this, because when you consider, the history of China, right, the history of these various nations, Esau is the hidden hand, if you will, behind all this anyway. But what it's doing is it's basically enslaving the entire planet Earth and leading it to what we all know is going to come to pass, which is the mandatory implementation of the CHIP, the Charagma. But in order to do that, BRICS is playing its role in basically swallowing up all these second and third world markets, right? Because as we know, the CHIP is going to be a global. This is a global move that E is finna make, and in the midst of that, all hell, all fighting is going to break out. War is going to break out in the midst, of him making this move. And that's essentially what, the elder breaks down in his video. But I just want to add that.
If I could say real quick too, and I'm give it back to you guys, Rala. But that does not negate the fact that BRICS is actually trying to gather some sort of wealth. Because war takes a lot of a huge down payment to get into. So that's why this situation is so important, and what we're trying to convey. I thought that was necessary to say as well.
That's beautiful that you say that, because that's 100% correct. War costs money, but also makes a lot of money. So that's why when I mentioned earlier, that's why this is not really a thing of a military issue just of yet. Okay, BRICS isn't doing military exercises. That's America doing that, and different, military regimes in all these different countries. BRICS is focusing on the financial sector. Okay, they're gathering their money together and their wealth. Okay, because like the priest just says, at the end of the day, it costs money to go to war. Okay, money is what when you go to war, that generates money. So you got to get your money up, okay, in order for things to get. And that's pretty much what they're doing, essentially. All right, so you have to understand how it goes. But again, also like the brother said, is you have to understand it's all infighting. Okay, as a matter of fact, you pull that up, Mark 3:25, I think it is. Pull that up on the screen. This is all infighting. Okay. All right. Esau, Edom, it's all it is just, this is the hidden ones hiding under different names. Well, not necessarily hidden ones, we are, but they're the same nation. Okay. They're just under different names. All right, if you will. This is there it is.
I can read that for you.
If you can.
This Mark 3:25. I'm gonna start at verse 24. It says, and if what was he gonna say, Art?
No, I was just saying that's right. Start at 24.
Yep. It says, Mark 3:24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
And that's what's happening right now. Like I said, Satan, he has a physical counterpart here on the earth, and that is Esau, Edom. Okay, make no mistake about it. Whether they go under different guise of being called Russians or Greeks or whatever, they're all the same nation. Okay, and so this is what we see that's happening right here. Okay, they're rising up against one another. Okay, because the scripture that we know that the Lord has come to bring that divide, right? And that's even with Israel. That's with us. Okay, he's dividing everything. He's putting everything in its proper place so this war can take place. Okay, military, civil, financial, technological. All right, and every aspect is what's getting ready to happen here. All right, so make no mistake, like I said about it, these are the same nation. All right, and Satan's getting ready to rise up against Satan, and as you says here at the end here, it says, but has an end, because why? We're at the end of his rulership. Okay. I just wanted to add that.
Yep, and because they are. Oh, but not Bond. Was you gonna say something, Mark?
Khan, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Salaki. So just to back up what the priest Rock was saying, it is control opposition, right? And the Latin word is ordo ab chaos. So
right.
Esau Edom is trying to establish his order through chaos. Right, all these little skirmishes, things happening around the world. Esau Edom is basically, like you said, has his hand in that. So in order to establish his order, there has to be chaos where he thinks he's going to come and save the day. Right? You know that there's a big surprise. Yahweh Shah is going to, definitely put that exclamation point on his plans that it will fail. You got it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What is it called? Another word for it? A problem, reaction, solution.
Hegelian dialectic.
Yeah, create a situation, and come in and capitalize off it. All right, but now the Lord is frustrating the tokens, all right, of the wicked. All right, and now this infighting is beginning. What's going to result in World War III? Okay, make no mistake about it. All these things are going into World War III. Okay, that's actually mentioned about in Joel, the 2nd chapter, around the 20th verse on down. Right. So these are the times that we're headed into. All right. But so we'll go ahead and touch on this here article a little bit. And brother, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and read it. And, if any brothers got any precepts, we can pull them out, and we're just going to touch on it.
Okay. It says, well, this is Kitco, all right, article by Kitco titled BRICS Will Break the Dollar and Usher a Return to Gold. Mises Institute.
Mm-hmm. And if I may add, and that's not, that's what, and I know that's what Elder Ariala was even speaking about, because at the end of the day, and Yahweh Shah is going to break this. Okay, at the end of the day, that's going to happen, because it's going to have, what all this is really going to do is bring about that war. It's not like BRICS going to come in with the dollar, break it, and the dollar's just gone, and everything's just, and we're a third world country, and then they're ruling. No. So we know through the scriptures that Yahweh Shah's kingdom is going to be set up. Before that happens, though, there has to be war. I just wanted to add that. You got it.
Mm-hmm. If I could add too, this is it's spiritual, because the Lord is going to turn us into gold as well, and we know that the dollar is going to fall. So those are two things that's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? And as this place starts to fall, we're going to be turned into gold. And BRICS is going to lead that. They're going to lead that that way of the fall of America. The scriptures talk about how the Lord is putting hooks. He's putting hooks into the jaw of the Russians. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be the leading force to purpose this place to be taken down. And we're going to be. We really are the ones that's us returning back to that our standard is having this place fall. Through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But you could look at it as that aspect. But we just come and bring the news, This is it says the US-led West will soon witness the end of dollar's preeminent position in the international trade, and all of fiat will follow, writers Patrick Barron on behalf of the Mises Institute, which endorses the Australian School of Economics in the tradition of Ludwig von Mises. Barron says the recent BRICS summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, included an agreement on a first step toward establishing an alternative international trade settlement system based on commodities, which will certainly include gold.
Right. And I just want to add, because, again, as the scripture knows, the nations are mad. All right. Because America's been leading that hegemony, okay, with the USD. All right. And, as the opening scripture says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? All right. But America's been going all throughout the earth, man. And it's been, it's been hitting different countries with sanctions, okay, disrupting different countries' economies and whatnot. But these same countries have relationships with NATO members, all right, some of the allies of America. All right. That's how we know that the scripture says the beast is going to hate the whore. All right. So now these people are putting together a summit, and they're putting together think tanks, all right, to try and figure out another way to go about doing trade. Because, as you know, how this USD works, essentially, if I'm, let's say India, and then, Iraq is, Iraq is Iran or whatever, just speaking hypothetically, we want to do trade, we have to purchase the American USD in order for us to do business. All right. And that's what's chiefly put America as that golden cup that's been in the Lord's hand. But it's been done in such a way of wickedness in all the nations, because all America is, or the USD is, it's a debt note that they all bought onto. All right. And with that hegemony of control, they pretty much they're pretty much subject to America's will. All right. And that's been going on for so long. And now these different countries are coming together. They're putting together think tanks, right, to figure out another way to go around the dollar. They're having these different summits, and America's not being invited to these things. All right. Because they're, this rule or hegemony has put the squeeze on their economies, and it's really hurt these other countries, man. And these other countries have been broken because of the ways of the West, if you will. But you got it.
Yep. It continues to reads, although the coming change may be characterized as one between the Western democracies and the BRICS nations, the real battle is one of ideas between Keynesian economic theory and gold, he writes. The winner will be gold.
And if I may add, that Keynesian economic theory is basically it's like a measure of sum of spending between households and businesses and government. Okay, that's pretty much what that boils down to. So it's like, pretty much weighing the pros and cons on how money is being spent within these nations and throughout the world when it comes to the household, when it comes to different businesses across the world, when it also comes to the government itself, just to give you some understanding.
Yeah, it says Keynesians believe because prices are somewhat rigid, fluctuations in the component of spending, consumption, investment, or government expenditures cause output to change. If government spending increases, for example, and all other spending components remain constant, then output will increase.
And again, it's just a theory. All these things are just theories, and how they keep an eye on the market and the way the money fluctuates. All right, but nevertheless, they know that there's an issue and there's a problem here, and they're trying their best to address it.
Yep, which Esau is known for making problems.
Yeah.
And so he can have the solution on the backhand, which they have the solution.
Yeah.
Ultimately to push that MOTB.
Yep. You got it.
It says Barron argues that even with the end of Bretton Woods in 1971, gold has never actually been proven inferior to fiat. The gold standard was not replaced by a better monetary system, he says. It was suppressed in stages to satisfy the state's insatiable need for money. First to make war, and then to corrupt the people via welfare. The result, of course, has been never-ending wars, a creeping expansion of the welfare state, unsustainable public deficits, and the accelerating debasement of the currency.
Yep. In fact, go ahead. You got it.
You want me to keep going?
Oh no, I thought you were going to say something. Can you repeat that? Start back where you brought it up here. I'm trying to figure out exactly where you were. It's a little bit small on my screen, but I got it on my iPad.
Okay. Yeah, let me zoom in, matter of fact.
Okay. Right.
Go one more. Okay. That's a bit better. Okay. I'll read that again. It says Barron argues that even with the end of Bretton Woods in 1971, gold has never actually been proven inferior to fiat. The gold standard was not replaced by a better monetary system, he says. It was suppressed in stages to satisfy the state's insatiable need for money, first to make war, and then to corrupt the people via welfare. The result, of course.
No, I was just going to say, and when you actually go into that, there was an article or lesson that I did on that, and they talk about how that meeting took place. And during that time when we were taken off of that gold standard, the silver standard and the gold standard, it had a lot to do also because America didn't have a lot of that in reserve. Right, we were losing a lot of that money, or should I say, a lot of those precious metals. So we couldn't really keep up. All right, so this was a ploy and a plan really to come out with the fiat dollar. Because when you think about it in return, you could sit there and just print out as much money as you want. All right, so that was all done by design. Okay, again, this is how Esau works. All right, I just want to add that because they talk about it because it's true. The gold standard was not replaced by a better monetary system. No, it was replaced by a debt note. Okay, a fiat currency. But because America was running out of a lot of that gold because of everything that was going on during that time in the Nixon presidency, they had to flip the money over into I think there's a word for it that they use down here too. It's called when you go down into the article, it's like basically it's a Latin word that means a blank paper. Carte blanche, I think they said it was. Yeah, but I just wanted to add that. You can continue reading, brother.
Okay. I had something for you real quick.
Okay.
This Habakkuk 2:5, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Mhm.
Right. And I got that because, Esau, a lot of the reason too, why Esau made this system the way it is to really take away the real wealth that the Americans have or had. you know you had a lot of people, they were kind of self-made when they came over to America
Mhm.
and had land, had cattle and sheep, and they had their gold as well, but not submitting themselves to that gold standard. What did that make the American people be able to do? It really struck them, because they weren't able to take their fiat notes to the bank and then
Yep.
take their money back that they had put in.
Yep.
So now most people, their knowledge of the money system, it doesn't exist because they don't teach it in the school system. But also at the same time, what you see with this NWO is that they're trying to take more than your gold, which they already have. They're trying to take your land. They're trying to take your cattle. They're trying to take your, the knowledge, which that's a very important thing as well. But also, that those physical things, land, cattle, resources, whether it be human resources or natural water springs, things of that sort.
Mhm. No, that's yeah, that's a pop. You're 100% correct, brother. So again,
Can I say?
yeah, you got it.
Oh, you can hear me? So like, I thought I was still on mute. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read read Habakkuk 2 and 6.
Yep. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay."
We understand that the clay is dead, right? And what Yazarala just said, most Americans don't even understand what debt is, in the sense that, the deficit is over what? So many trillion? It doesn't affect them, firsthand, right? Because they're just living in this matrix where as long as they get a check, pay their bills, they repeat that same vicious cycle, okay? They don't teach you in school about economics and what's really going on. And that's just a spell on the people. But, based upon what you say, Esau Edom just wants to take what's yours. That's why there's no gold to back up the fiat, dollar. And most people don't even know, or they don't even care if you tell them, oh, well, I got to go to work at 5. They go on with this same vicious cycle like a rat in a cage, not knowing that it's in a cage. You got to
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And both these nations, I'm talking about BRICS and America, they have to submit themselves and go to these these banking families, to get these loans from them before they have, they can go to war or whatever. So that's why we say that it's all controlled. It's all controlled. They really like we started out with, two horns on the same dragon.
Yep. I got a precept real quick.
Mhm.
This Proverbs 23 and 5. It reads, "Without set thine eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as the eagle towards heaven." Right, and just like the priest Banya was speaking, and we mentioned earlier, this is fiat money. Okay, this is not real money. Okay, and the scriptures let it be known, that the real money outside of this truth, which is the ultimate money, though, is gold and silver. Even in our Constitution, I think it's in Section 10. It reads that, roughly paraphrasing, that the only substance of money that can be used is actual gold and silver. It can't be allotted out for paper money or anything else. This isn't our Constitution, but this is this hypocritical devil, right? That does what he wants. He'll say one thing, but he'll do something else. He'll do what he wants on the other end. Okay, so as we see the America, the rest of the nation, we've all bought onto this dollar, this debt. Okay, and it's basically been an uncertain riches. All right, and we see right now that the de-dollarization that's happening, it's flying away. Okay, the scripture brings to mind says, "All the daughters of music are brought low." Roughly paraphrase. I know you brothers know that scripture. It's evading me right now, but that's talking about pretty much everything here, also in Babylon, because everything is being brought low. Okay, and chiefly the USD. Okay, because as we said, nations have had enough, and so now they're trying to look for a way out. All right, and this is bring about that World War III. I was going to get back to the article. Just kind of a little bit more.
All right, it says he points out that the debasement of the fiat dollar has lowered its purchasing power to gold by 98% since 1971. It says that sanctions against Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, including the frenzying of Russian-owned assets and their banning from the dollar-based SWIFT interbank settlement system, has accelerated the shift toward an alternate system.
Hmm.
Intro-
You got it. No, I wasn't saying that. You got it.
It says introducing gold, or quote, introducing gold into the trading system will expose the main fallacy of the Keynesian economics, the elevation of aggregate demand to preeminence in the nation's economy rather than production, the only means of satisfying the demand in the first place, end quote. Barron writes, Keynes elevated the concept of aggregate demand over overproduction, while Jean-Baptiste shows that production is required in order to enjoy the benefits of consumption. He writes that this rather upside down theory appealed to politicians because it gave them carte blanche to spend all with money created out of thin air by the central bank. I know you want to get that.
Carte blanche. In Latin, that means blank paper, because that's what's been running this whole thing. Paper. Okay, that's backed by absolutely nothing. Like I said, and this is chiefly why one of the main reasons nations are mad right now. This is what they've been subject to. What you think about it? Blank paper, man. All right. And this year, but the Lord is Kodah, he set that up to be like that on purpose, because he knew that that would be the thing that would bring about that anger and bring about the violence that's necessary to bring about this World War III. You see? All the money created out of thin air by central bankers, man. So pulling off to that gold standard and that silver standard was done on purpose. All right. And no one's going to come over here and look at America's reserves and see how much they have. They just know that America was a rich company. They see the numbers and how much things are coming in, how much, because we're a consumer country. All we do is consume. Right. And it is the hammer of the old earth. So, and okay, we're going to switch to this. And that way we just kind of hide what the nations think we have, and we just print out what we want to print out. You know, so it's a Ponzi scheme that all the nations pretty much have woken up to. All right.
I just got that word, Carte. Were you gonna say something about that,
Con. And if you can recall, Yazarala, we had a conversation about that, because Esau Edom is he's been showing all these commercials where, you know, if you make a certain amount yearly under 50,000, that you can apply to get like $1,200 or $1,400 a month. And the conversation went like, that's his way of just trying to get rid of the dollar. You know, he's trying to just almost throw it away, because that's his plan. And you got Jake that's signing up to get this $1,200, $1,400 a month, and the end goal of that is the MOTB. You know, he'll get you snared on that money, like, woo, free money. Now, if he tells you that, okay, I can't give you, you know, dollars of fiat anymore. Rather, you're gonna have to get this thing put inside of you, your your hand or whatever, you know, Wagner, in order to keep getting this money, then you'll do it. And the target is, you got it.
That's beautiful. It's true. You know, this is Jeremiah 50:7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? That made all the nation, made all the earth drunken. And the nations have drunken her wine, her philosophies, her USD chiefly, all right, her legislation, all right, her philosophies, and therefore the nations are mad. Okay, so this is where we're at right now, and in turn, you know, that Revelation 17 is going to come to pass heavy, man. All right. In fact, you brothers want to grab that real quick.
What was that?
I believe it's Slacky, 1 second.
Yep, this is Revelation 17:4. You wanted that?
Yeah.
Woman was arrayed in purple, the cup in her hand, golden cup in her hand. Yep. It's Revelation 17:4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right. See, woman is talking about America, right? That's on top of that seven-headed dragon with the 10 crowns, all right, which is chiefly NATO, okay, and the allied countries of America, because in America, NATO is pretty much subject to America as long as she, you know, well, chiefly we know this is all through Yahweh Yahushua, you know, because she is the hammer of the old earth, decked with gold and precious stones, because that's how the inhabitants of the world look at America. America is the land of milk and honey, where dreams come true. Everybody's wants to come to this place, man, because this place will accept and you can be and do anything you want to be, you know. But in turn, all those things we are within that golden cup is what? Abomination, filth, and fornication. Okay, which is all, you know. In turn, it was all, you know. It's like you looking at something afar off, but when you pull up on it and you come up on it, it's like, damn, it's disgusting. You know, it's not what you thought it was. All right. And so now going back into the nations are mad. Matter of fact, Baba Kushak, can you go down to 17 and 18?
Yep, it says, for Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall be fulfilled.
You see that? And that's what happened. Okay, the Lord put the spirit, put it in their minds, right, to come under this hegemony, right, under the woman, which is America. When you go down here to 18, where it says that woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, that's America. So the Lord has set this all up from the very beginning. This was written over 2,000 years ago for all these nations to come up underneath America, all right, to go and do its bidding, the bidding of the whore, right? But if you go up here in 16, it says what?
It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
That's right, thermonuclear fire. All right, those 10 horns are talking about, because NATO started off initially as 10 vassal states, but then it grew to, you know, roughly 25 or 30 now. Okay, but that's the same thing in the ancient Roman Empire. When we go through that, you know, with you know, Sufis and the Lombardis and so forth and so on. Right, so just as the Lord put the spirit on them to agree to come underneath this hegemony, in order for Esau to work his wickedness and do these things within the earth, that same country or that same beast, you know, that woman rides on it, is going to turn on America, and that's happening right now. It's happening right before your eyes. Okay, these countries were once rocking with America at one time. Okay, so now you got France, you got all these different countries that are part of the NATO regime that are leaving and wanting to get away from America. Why? Because inevitably prophecy has to take place. It's going to turn on America, and it's going to hit America with thermonuclear fire. And that's in Jeremiah 49, 50, 51. Okay, but this move away from the USD, these countries trying to come up and trying to basically scramble to come out of this hegemony or this under America, man, which has been basically a trap, okay, to set up their own thing. But it's not going to fully work because Esau's going to do what he does best. He's going to resort to his blessing, which is that sword. That's what's going to bring about that World War III, man. You see? I just want to add that. If any other brothers wanted to add anything else, we can hop on that. We can touch on that other. Just kind of paint the picture.
Let me see.
I did want to add here, too. Matter of fact, if I may, where's it at here? We could go to the Ezekiel 38 real quick from me. Before you go into this here.
Was there a specific verse you want me to start out, or just the top?
Yeah, you can actually start off at the top. Yeah.
This is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him."
Right. And if you go into that word chief actually there should be Rus. All right, which is Russia, is what it should be. I'm not sure if that's the actual letter, but when I did some research just in Gog and Magog, that actually went back to Rus, which is Russia. But yep, there it is.
Ra'ash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Belarus and all these different ones. So that's really what that is. That's going into Rosh, which is Russia. Okay, which is the head. Yep, there it is there. Chief, the choicest. Man. So yeah, this is in this chapter, it's basically the Lord telling Ezekiel to prophesy against, because the Lord is against these nations. Like I said, this is Satan rising against Satan. He's causing this division with all these countries to start this war. Go ahead.
It says, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords."
Right. Thy jaws, when you're turning Russia back into the ancient USSR powerhouse, that warlike mindset. And Putin is the perfect man to do that. As we know, we talked about this before. This thing started off in '96 with the Clinton administration, right? When we told Gorbachev we wouldn't do any more eastward expansion. From 1996, 97, all the way up to today, we've housed 14, I think it is, former ancient USSR countries, moving NATO closer and closer and closer to Russia. So now when Putin looks out his back window, there's NATO missiles pointed at his backyard. And that's an act of war. And so people want to get all into their feelings because he went into Ukraine. No, he was to stop that, because Ukraine was playing with the idea of joining NATO. But during that time, they rejected him because it's a 30-member membership. So they have to vote. You have to be voted into NATO. It was 30 members and they wasn't going for it. But they've been playing back and forth with this. Putin saw an opportunity to capitalize, and he did. Okay. So it goes on to say, you got it.
It says, well, if I can make a point real quick too, just the article what we just went into, as well as it's their people, the people living in Russia and Ukraine, they looking at the same things, or a lot of the same information that we getting over here too, and it's getting them in the mindset of, hey, we don't need America.
Yep.
We don't need America, and not even talking about what happens with the dollar or whatnot. They're imagining a new way where they don't need America. You know, they're competing with them. They're visualizing, you know, their power without them. You know, which has been that hasn't been even thought of, right? And all these other nations are starting to hop on board, you know, and really look at, you know, America some type of way, and they starting to see them for who this whole really is, you know, be like, damn, that's how they did their own people, like look like Europe, you know, that's how they did their own people.
That's heavy. In fact, I want to grab one too, so,
If I can hold a preach up.
Hey, yeah, Rock was gonna say something.
Oh, so I can hear you.
Go ahead.
No, I just had a precept real quick. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9 and 10. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles." This is what you had.
That's what I had. You got it.
I had a feeling you had what you got to pull too. Joel 3 and 9 and 10 says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong." Just lining up with what the brother said. You know, all the nations of the earth are basically coming to the realization that America is that, you know, proverbial elephant in the room. You know, America really is, you know, especially in Esau, Edom, are really the problems here on the planet Earth, and that's coming out. That's being made evident all across the globe. But, you know, this is also a tactic of warfare. You know, divide and conquer is one of the most commonly known tactics of warfare, you know, amongst men, you know, divide and conquer. But really, this links up with what the scriptures say about Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's a man of war, you know, so he's getting ready to have these nations basically fight themselves to the death, you know, and he's going to come through and clean it up at the end and make a spectacle, you know, and make a magnificent, you know, showing, you know, in his return. Y'all got it.
If I can add to what you're saying, Dr. Shah. So all these other nations, you know, they've always been bullied by the United States because, you know, had they had the opportunity, they would have pulled up on you know, Esau Edom. But that sword is Esau Edom. They have that military might. So that's why they've always kept their distance. All right. So he's always bullied them with sanction, you know, they throw a sanction on Russia, it affects their business with other nations that they ain't done nothing. They're looking at it like, wow, we've been punished because you have an issue with him, right? So they've always had a grudge. They've always been looking for that opportunity to take down that toughest guy in the pen, you see? But now they're going to do it behind Russia, right? Because they have the numbers now. So you consider, okay, we don't have enough missiles, okay, but combined, we can take down our adversary because we have one thing in common is we hate the whore. So they're starting to get that spirit. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is putting that spirit in them to raise up against Esau Edom. And we know through the scriptures, every kingdom that stood always had a violent end. Just backing you up on the Lord as a man of war. You got it.
God, no, that's beautiful. I wanted to, if I can land back on the precept, this is Ezekiel 14. I'm going to start at 8. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, right? Because it's going to be the end of here, America and Esau Edom. Okay, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And that's what's happening because the nations are getting bold now. All right. You know, and at the end of the day, America, it's just your turn. It's just your turn, man. When you go, every nation's had its chance to rule, man, and do its wickedness and had its height and its glory day. And it had its, you know, the corruption, and it had its decay, its falling, and brought to nothing. In America, you're no different. Okay? And it goes on to say, thy pump is brought down to the grave. Right. That proudness. All right, that whole property American spirit. And the noise of thy vows, and the worms spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Now, what's that likened to? That's talking about when you're dead as a corpse, worms come over, they eat up your body, eat up your flesh. So America is pretty much it's a dead kingdom just floating in the midst of the water, man. It's already been written. You know, and this is all happening, starting chiefly through this de-dollarization, okay, which pretty much it was a ploy. It was a controlled demolition, is what this was. All right, but the outcome is not going to be what Esau thinks, man. Okay, it all starts with that, because as we know, the race is for the fourth industrial revolution. So everybody's hustling. That's why he's trying to push this CBDC out so quick. All right, and move everything in place. All right, but the Lord has got something for him. All these nations here that are mentioned here, Ezekiel 38, are all coming together, that confederate, to bring you down. You see? If you want to go back here to that, unless you brothers got something, I just want to hit that last little bit on Ezekiel 38.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, that last verse you just read, how it says the worm is spread under thee and the worms cover thee.
Yeah.
Like that's just shows you the point of the way that this devil is gonna be brought down. Right. That's a shameful thing to be to die like that. Like, you know, in the ancient world, what happened when they had your body? You were given a right burial. You look at the men of old. Right, their body was taken and put in a tomb.
Yep.
Right. Hey, Esau it's gonna be a shameful thing. Like, ain't nobody going, make burial and have a way for him to be put down. It talks about their sons being put down. That legacy is gonna be removed, man. Eventually. So he's not gonna be given the proper burial. It's gonna be a very shameful death. Especially with this kingdom not being able to rise, but also Esau is gonna be it's gonna be a lot of shame brought low for real.
No, that's beautiful. You're right, because in the ancient days, there was honor. You had honorable deaths, all right, and your name and your lineage, your legacy, it lived on. Scriptures let it be known that he's gonna fly away as a dream, and his remembrance will be no more. That's a shameful way. That's a very dishonorable way to go out. That's your part. It's beautiful that you brought. That's so true.
Because even today you have people that they go visit gravestones, right? Yep. And it's left as a monument. Like you go out with worms on the ground. It's no monument there. They pretty much took you, like they ate at your flesh and they consumed. Yep. Even in the book of Genesis, it talks about how Abraham wanted his family. He had bought that lot for his family to be put down in. So it shows you the importance in the custom of a burial and how that was related with how you actually was, how you were represented when you were alive.
That's right.
I'll go back to that Ezekiel though.
No, I'm just gonna finish that last one part.
Mm-hmm. See,
good.
Ezekiel.
Understanding. I was just talking about understanding these are the nation. That's why I said. Well, as a matter of fact, we'll read it here. I think we're at 38:5. Or you can go ahead for it.
Yep. It says 38:4 says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet."
Mm-hmm. Now, when you do your research, Persia, which we know is Iran, right? Russia has different embassies set up there. He's got the embassy of Tehran in Iran. He's got the embassy of the Federation of Islamic Republic in Iran. And in Ethiopia, he has the Russian embassy of Addis Ababa of Ethiopia. Okay, in Libya, it's the Tripoli embassy that they have. over that Russia has over there. So Russia has these countries have embassies within their own country. So they've already had this partnership, this treaty, this understanding. Okay, and these things are standing here today. And this was written over 2,000 years ago. Turkey, the same thing. Russia has an embassy in Ankara, Turkey. Okay, so all of these nations are coming together, and Russia is going to spearhead it. Because when you go on down here in the latter in verse, he says, and be a guard unto them. So all these nations, including the BRICS, Russia has, Brazil has the Brasilia embassy. Russia has the Brasilia embassy in Brazil. Russia has an embassy in Beijing, China. Russia has an embassy in Pretoria, South Africa. Right? And that's the BRICS nations right there. Okay, so all of this hegemony is coming together, man. All right, to put together seeking a way out for the most part. So it's beautiful, but they're all coming under the hegemony of Russia, because Russia is going to be, as scripture says, where is it? As a matter of fact, you go down here where it says, and be a guard unto them. Because after the Lord names off all these different nations and what they're to do, and it says, and thou to be a guard unto them, meaning Russia is going to be a guard unto all these different nations. There was actually and I couldn't find it. There was a video that when Putin went over to Iran, and he was meeting with one of the prime ministers, and what he did after the meeting was over, he took his coat off and he placed it over the flag of Iran, and that was a custom in Iran, basically saying, it was a war custom or tactic, basically saying that when putting my coat over your flag, meaning I'm going to cover you. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, it was heavy. Like, I'm going to cover you. I'm going to protect you, is what he did. And so the scriptures are speaking loud and clear. I wish I had that video, but it was about a year ago when I saw it, but it was real heavy when this thing first really kicked off. So Russia is going to be a guard unto the nations. As a matter of fact, it's right there, 38:7.
Yep. It says, Ezekiel 38:7 says, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
See that? Be a guard. When you go into that word prepare, it's a Hebrew word, kun, meaning to direct towards, aim as a weapon, be restored. Yeah, there it is. So, to be a weapon. See that? To direct towards. To direct these nations towards what? This coming World War III. There it is right there. Time. The ranks to settle. Fix the right. Stable, establish. There, make ready. Direct towards, arrange, order. To accomplish.
We got a brother in the camp named Kawan.
What was you gonna say, Iraq?
Slaki, bro. I was just gonna say this is another reason while the weak are saying that they're strong. In that movie, Oppenheimer kind of goes into this. If you go see that movie, because it basically breaks down how the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, the technology and the science that was necessary for those particular weapons to come on the planet Earth and to evolve, all those secrets were basically passed over to Russia and Germany during the time of World War II. So now that Russia has been sitting on this technology so long and mastered, this missile technology, they're capable of being that guard to these other nations, but they're also equipping these other nations on the low, And this is another reason why these seemingly weaker nations are starting to get more confident, because they know that they have Russia behind them, when the time comes, Case in point, North Korea, that's been talking shit forever. They've been talking that hot shit since about the 1990s.
Yeah,
and there's a reason why. There's a reason why. North Korea is very geographically significant in regards to America. America, ICBM could get from North Korea to an America in about 10 minutes, probably. Just speaking as a man, it would take no time. It's that close. You
Yep.
know, you got it.
Yes,
And it's beautiful you say that. If I can add, it's beautiful you say that because North Korea is always in the news. So America knows who's close enough to touch him. So he keeps that person, close to him by keeping that country in the news consistently, man. So America is in fear, right, of being taken down. I want to hold this precept right here. This is Isaiah 14 and 21, because this is what's going to eventually happen to him. And I believe he has nightmares about this, man. I think the Lord put the spirit on him to dread these things. He sees it coming.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Isaiah 14:21 in the NLT. Kill this man's children. Let them die because of their father's sin. They must not rise and conquer the earth, filling the world with their cities. This is what the Lord of heaven army says. I myself have risen against Babylon. I will destroy its children and its children's children, says the Lord. And this just brings to spirit, man, what these other nations are really feeling. Because in Greek mythology, when you're fighting a Hydra, it had many heads. Each time you chopped off a head, another head grew back, if not more. So these nations don't want the Hydra's head to grow back. He wants, to, destroy Esau, Edom altogether, man. Because he's done so much to these nations that all they've been doing, man, is just like, taking the L. But now that Russia's, being that big brother, another bully the same size as America, it gives these other nations, man, confidence that, hey, man, we can take this sucker down. We never thought we could, but we can take this. There's a strong possibility we can take this, this wigger down. So that's in their spirit. And Most High is putting that in their spirit to rise up against the devil, man. But you got it.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. That's why Scripture says there should be left no root nor branch. All right, when you root something out, it can't grow back. All right, it can't. That's why this being rooted out literally from the roots, man. Okay, so we're in that latter in time right there, man. The call hello Yahabashim Yashar. So World War III is lining up, man. Right, hey, that's the spirit, Our salvation is nearer than what we believe, that Scripture says. We've been rocking for about an hour. I don't know if you brothers got any more precepts you want to go into the other article or
Yeah, I was gonna make a point. I mean, I got a precept too, but I was gonna make a point and say that the reason why they would, like all the other nations, would go to that extreme length is because they think they up next too. That's the main reason too. Like they think that they actually, they would destroy America, and they believe that, oh man, they're really envisioning a place where, they don't have to worry about the Lord, right? They don't have to worry about the 144,000 in the nation of Israel, right, coming and ruling the earth. They think that once America is, destroyed, they just gonna be in this, place with, America is on fire, and they're gonna be able to set up another rulership, and everybody, jabbed up and chipped up and, dipped up, all that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the that's what we coming into, right? This nigga gonna be sat down, but we gonna be lifted up, man.
That's beautiful.
But
you got a precept, brother?
yeah, I had a precept real quick.
Sure, yeah, bring that up.
Let's see. This Isaiah 13, and I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wickedness for their iniquity, and will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible," right? Because at the end of the day, both the Russians and the American, white man are Edomites, they Edomites, so they both gonna, as much power as they garner, right, or seem to have garnered, right, it's all gonna be taken away through those nukes, right, hitting this place, and I'm talking about, you know, the world, right, in multiple parts of the world, that's going to be a major catastrophic event, right? And it's going to be seen globally. Verse 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, right? Because the wicked, right, they are, you know, the wicked. And, you know, the world is following this Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So all the world has drunken of this cup of wickedness and have followed in that way, right? It says, the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, right? And it says, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? And we know that this is soon to happen, but it's going to be perfected in its fullness when we, you know, we shed this body, right? This you know, this weight of flesh that's off of us, you know, and that refining process is happening now, and we're turning into that true, you know, precious metal, right? That true currency is being perfected within us, right? So I just wanted to read that for you, bro.
No, that's beautiful. That's a great point. Seeing that, you know, like, 'cause I think you had mentioned that earlier, actually, in the lesson, how the men of the Lord are going to be that real, that true gold, you know, that priceless vessel, if you will. All right. And like you said, and it's funny because it is true, you know, chiefly the reason why, you know, the nations are seeing America as being brought low. So the nations are puffing up. They proud. And they smell blood. We got pedophiles in office. You know, we got the community in our military. But I wanted to bring out this is Psalms, second chapter. As a matter of fact, you want to go there? Something? This is all right. We start up top, and it says, yeah, right there. Yep. Psalms 2:1.
I can read it for you, Art.
Come on, you got it.
It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Right, just like Chris said. Why do they rage? Why are there an uproar, tumult that's happening across the world? Because America, they see that America is on its decline. You know, they smell blood. And so what's that vain thing they're imagining? That they're going to be up next. Okay, that's why they're all coming together here to conspire, you know, to come against Babylon. Go ahead.
It says, verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and against his anointed. Saying,
Isn't that? Yep. No, isn't that not what's happening right now? These think tanks are coming together. The BRICS nations, all these nations are coming together because chiefly they're not. All these nations are wicked as hell. People look at man. You know, I've seen articles, man. You know, hats off to Russia, and I know fuck all of these, man. They're not standing for the rulership of Yahweh Yahushua. So fuck them. All these heathens gotta go, man. That's what Jacob has to realize. The only great thing about this is that Jacob's kingdom is coming. All these other nations can go to hell, man. Let them kill each other. They're not for the forwarding of Yahweh Yahushua's kingdom. All right, they have their own vain opinions and ideologies of how they're going to rule and what they're going to do and how what they're going to do different as opposed to what America did. Okay, that's why they're coming together, as it says, the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together. This BRICS nation, it's chiefly what that is. Trying to figure out a way to come out of the dollar, come out of the hegemony, so what? So they can be in power next. All right, and you think that you Jakes, they're going to throw you Jakes a bone? Once let's say China does come into power, how you think they're gonna treat you niggas? Or Russia, or any one of these other nations? What you think they're gonna do to you, Jake? They're gonna give you your 40 acres and a mule? You got it.
If I can add to what you're saying, scriptures, you know, Deuteronomy 7:6 said the Most High will make us above all nations. So if he makes us above all nations, these are the base of men. Esau is the basis of men, but these are base of men. So they will come in the same spirit as Esau, Edom, if not doing even more wicked things, because they worship idols, right? They don't acknowledge Yahweh Shem Shah. So we will go back into that vicious cycle that Esau, Edom, understanding that, every captivity of Israel was of these base nations. So we're Yahweh Shema Shah is taking us out of captivity. So we can't let a base nation rule. You see?
Yep.
That'll be the same vicious cycle that we went through with Esau, Edom. They're going to be even more wicked. So righteousness has to be established in these times, man. We can't go back. Hell, if that's the case, then, because they imagine a vain thing that they're going to rule next. And that's in their mind. But at the end of the day, based on what you just said, Jake won't have any type of rights or sovereignty when these base nations rule. So
that's right.
You got it out.
No, that's beautiful. That's right. The only answer is for our sovereign Lord to come set up his kingdom. And by default, that's our kingdom. Outside of that, nations have been under the hegemony of Esau, Edom so long. What you think they're going to come in here and do something different? They all wear his Armani ties, drive his Ferrari cars. They think like him, walk like him, talk like him.
Wearing suits.
Spirit, they have the same spirit as this man. So would you think that he's going to let off our necks if another heathen nation come into rulership? No. You got it.
Yep. It says, verse 3, it says, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Mm-hmm.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
See that? The Lord is laughing. All of these vain ideas and ideologies and people betting on bricks and betting on this, the Lord is laughing up there right now. Because the last thing to happen is that they think is going to happen is that Yahweh Shah's kingdom is coming. People say it in church all the time, but they don't really think that it's almost here. They really don't think that until them skies crack. You got it.
Mm-hmm. It's a lack of faith.
Yep.
And they don't understand world history too. All these nations got their chance to rule.
That's right.
Israel was in rulership for only 30 years. I mean, really 40 years, where we was like really established, what I'm saying? Under King Solomon,
Yep.
And that, was short. We wasn't really like, we wasn't planted in our land. Like, hey, and since then we've been in captivities. And we seen how the other nations treated us, man. They had our chance to do right, and some captivities was better than others, right?
Sure.
But hey, it's still captivity.
Thank you. Nonetheless, and because 2nd Ezra 6th chapter let it be known that the world was made for our sakes. Okay, so we supposed to no motherfucking body, man, but Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh Shai. We supposed to be under no other damn nation, man. That's not how this thing was created to be.
Yeah. Jeremiah.
Chance to rule. They all had their chance to do their thing. So you can't be mad, heathens. The Lord is a fair power. He gave y'all a chance. Y'all went and did your thing. The only problem is y'all shit wasn't forever.
Yep.
Jacob's gonna be forever, but y'all ruled. And during that time of rulership, what were we doing? We were under your ass getting fucked up. And now it's your turn to get your ass dealt with. Now everybody's sore and that got displeasure and all. No, fuck that.
Scriptures say Jeremiah 49:12. They whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken.
Yep.
So you not go altogether unpunished.
That's right.
Thou shalt surely drink. And that's talking to chiefly Esau.
Yep.
But that goes for all these nations too. Like we had to be subject. The king's son had to be in captivity. And you don't think that these other heathen gonna have to pay for that? Right? They gonna surely drink.
The drink.
Maybe they oh yeah. It's gonna be hey. It is what it is. We had to do it, so you got to do it too.
Yeah.
I think that was spin the bottle, kiss the sun. It's your turn, nigga.
That's right. Man up. Hey, Tupac saying, man, take it like a man, man.
Yeah.
It's all over. Take it like a man. Take it like a man. We had to. But you see countless videos on TikToks, man, where these Edomites are losing their mind. When is this going to be over with? We ain't even We didn't even hit the surface yet. We didn't even touch the surface yet.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think inflation bad. Went to
Uh,
that inflating your skull, nigga.
Yep. So that's all I really had on that, with that precept. The other brothers want to bring it.
That's pretty much it for me.
Hey, I brought this out. Maybe if you brothers you want to, we can. And I know about we way past your time to go get your brother. I hope you're all right.
You walked on.
Oh, okay. If not, we can go into the draconian, next week. It's all up to you, brothers. If you brothers want to keep rocking, whatever. And my brothers got things to do, but the spirit is rocking. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down.
yeah, it's been over an hour. I think it's
Yeah.
the point. Rock, you got anything you want to say, brother? Not Bun?
Nah, good man. You said it.
Nah.
Hey, so with that, we want to give our honors and praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Right. Double honors, to the elders, apostles, great millstone that taught us his truth. Hey, Shalom. Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom. Kwam Yasharala.